I see green! Green! Hey everybody, how are you all doing today? So we're going to get started working on yet another MacBook today. And there's the MacBook. Y'all happy to see that little MacBook? That's what I thought. Isn't it a beautiful, beautiful MacBook? By the way, I wanted to say thank you very much to Charlie Chan for these beautiful nitrile gloves. Nitrile gloves have returned! My normal supplier does not have nitrile gloves, and all the places that I usually buy them from are sold out or price gouging. So he got me a set of purple gloves. Look like a happy little Disney character. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can fix this MacBook Air. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on my power supply. Just get my power supply software on. Can you please repair New York City, Lewis? No, I can't. I cannot fix New York City at all, nor can anybody else. So we have 25% of the renters have not paid their rent since March. That's with, and now keep in mind, we have a moratorium on evictions right now, which is pretty much a joke since there's no moratorium on property taxes. So the landlords are they're gonna jump on that the moment that they are back, can start evicting again. And we also have the CARES Act, giving people, I believe, $600 a week in unemployment during the time that they can't work. Once evictions are back, and the $600 a week unemployment is taken away, and the lockdowns are still in session, and even if the lockdowns end, most of those companies may not be coming back, oh man, you've got a nice little recipe there for an absolute and utter chaos. And that's going to be interesting. I feel genuinely bad for what's going to be happening to the city over the next few months, but I cannot imagine that any of it is going to be good. I mean, again, I'm one of those people where I'm a pessimist, but I also hope I'm wrong. I actually enjoy being proven wrong as a pessimist, because if I'm proven wrong as a pessimist, that means that something good happened. So I really, really hope that I am proven wrong. Anyway, let's see what this MacBook does. 20 milliamps, 23 milliamps, and it settles at 23, but you see how it's going back and forth, 22, 23, 22, 23, 22, 23, 22, 23. It's not a large range, but it's enough that I can see that the MacBook is trying to do something. So let's take the board out of the case and see if we can figure out what it is that's causing it to jump up and down like that. Wow, it's been a while since I've been on camera. That's me using a T8 screwdriver on a MacBook Air. That's pretty stupid. Okay, can we at least pretend that I remember how to fix a MacBook? Yep, totally dinosaur. Why do you use a ball mouse? I use this because my desk does not have a lot of space on it. So if I had a mouse, having to do this, it's like, oh, I hit my soldering iron, oh, I hit my mat. But if I have this, I can go all around the screen, just like this. The problem is that this Logitech is a piece of shit. So this is the M570. Don't buy this. This thing sucks. I have gone through several of them. It's not a good product. So it has this thing where even if you clean the sensors and replace the ball and all of that, it'll lose accuracy over time and become more and more aggravating. And it's really something where, like, again, I've cleaned it. Sorry about that. I had to handle some business with my CPA, working on a potential 501c3 that works and supports people in the repair industry through providing classes, education, guides in all areas, not simply just MacBook board repair like on my channel, but something that would supply that where it would pay for people who are the best in class in the field to create manuals and guides and videos on how to do all different types of things, whether it's screen refurbishing or iPhone data recovery or all different types of little things, as well as more effective lobbying. Like, I'd really like to ramp up things like getting Google to allow AdWords, getting Google to allow repair people back on the AdWords platform again, and getting legislation moved forward faster than the pace of a snail. And, you know, we'll see. Someone reached out and said they were interested in donating to the cause. And how would, what would, someone pretty much reached out and said, what would you do if you had a real budget for this? I wrote them up, just a basic little list of what it is that I would do if I had a real budget for it. And now we're going to find out if they were pulling my leg. I don't think they're pulling my leg. They seem like a nice person. But then again, money is money. Money is money. So we'll see what they do there. I don't know if AirPods are fixable. You shouldn't fix them, though. They sound like shit. What the fuck are you doing with AirPods, man? Get rid of that shit. Get yourself a nice set of Idiomotics or something. Anyway, so let's take a look over this board and see if there's anything that stands out as obvious as to why it is we have 23 milliamps. So this is an 820-00165 MacBook Air. Basic board. It's going to turn on the multimeter. My wife got them for free. That's too expensive. Way too expensive. You paid too much for those. All right, so I'm just going to go down the basic list of power rails. So, you know, one of the main ones that is here is the PP bus of G3 Hot. 8.6, steady. All right. PP3V42 is present because we have a light on our charger. What is a CPA? A CPA is a certified public accountant, certified professional accountant, certified does my taxes for me so that I don't fuck them up. I don't know. All right, so we have PPV-RTC G3 Hot. We have PP5VS5. Here is where we missed PP5VS4. Wah, wah, wah. So this is going to be a good old missing PM Sleep S4L. These are medium gloves, Charles. Thank you very much. Everybody, a round of applause in the chat to Mr. Charles, who found these gloves and was generous enough to buy them for us. I could not find these things anywhere. I gave up trying to find nitrile gloves. Nitrile? 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 I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce it. The ones that don't suck. You know, latex leaves powder on you. Vinyl, it breaks real easy. But nitrile, yes! These don't break easy. All right, so I'm going to open up a schematic in a board view. And we are going to take a look at some things. So this is probably going to be your standard PM Sleep S4L missing disaster. P5E S4 RS3N. And this is P5E S4 RS3 and here, which comes from PM Sleep S4L. PM Sleep S4L comes from the PCH. Oh, PM Sleep S4L. Yep. So let's see what that is. It's going to be missing because that's always what's missing. Let's just confirm. This is what Paul would call not fair. Paul would look at this board and say that's not fair. Paul would be correct when he says that that's not fair. By the way, see that little indent over there on pin 2 on the right? See how there's an indent? I was actually able to hit pin 2 without the microscope. Isn't that kind of cool? Yep. 0 volts on PM Sleep, and it's not jumping up and down either. It's just straight up dead. Aren't you happy, folks, that there's a missing PM Sleep S4L on the desk? Yay! Very dusty, pubesy board. Now remember, corrosion in my U1950 area can be a cause. And I don't see corrosion, I just see a lot of dust. But wait, that's a green thing. What is that green thing? Do you guys see what I'm looking at? That's some green shit right there. That's some green. I see green. Green! You gotta admit, that's kind of hard to see. Like, if I didn't know to look there from previous cases, I really wouldn't have looked there. This is what we call the Hail Mary. This is what we call the please be this, because if it's not this, I don't know what it is, and I give up. Green is the color of hope. Yes, it is! Yes, it is, folks. Thank you. The camera is not focusing. The camera is not what focuses. I do. So I'm not focusing. Your problem is not with the camera, it's with me! Oh man. New York City is so fucked. Like, it's so fucked, I don't really know exactly what to do about it. I don't see a recovery to this. I really don't. 25% have not paid rent since March. That's with the CARES Act and the $600 in unemployment. Now, maybe that's because that actually isn't enough to pay rent in this city. Maybe that's because there were a bunch of bullshit stipulations that kept people from getting it. I mean, if the stipulations for that were even a quarter as ridiculous as the PPP shit, then I can only imagine. But yeah, like, man, that's a mess. That is such a mess. And like, this city was already barely hanging on by a thread there, because for all you hear about all the wealth in this city, there's a lot of wealth, but there's also way more broke people that are barely clinging on with your $2,000 to $3,000 shitty tiny apartments. And yeah, you may say that some of those people are going to leave. You may say that some of those people will be leaving the city. A lot of them are going to be staying and just becoming more disagreeable, shall I say. Disagreeable. Don't worry, leave it to me, I know how to fix New York. Die, Spectrum, die. I take your dollar and I light it on fire. Kaliko says wealthy only use New York to launder or invest money. You know, there's a really interesting article on this. It was New York real estate is the new Swiss bank account. And it really is. Because a lot of the housing here, because typically the more conservative argument is, well, you have way too many restrictions and regulations that make it difficult to build new housing. If you built new housing, you wouldn't have a housing problem. And point taken. If you make it more difficult to build housing, there'll be less housing. Less housing means housing shortage. Housing shortage means price go up. Price go up mean it. However, you also have the issue that when new housing is created, it winds up being marketed to people that don't live here at prices that people live here would never be able to afford in their lives. And I mean, even if it was at prices they can afford here, it doesn't even matter, because it winds up being bought up by people who are laundering money in other countries. Like, New York is a big, like, this has been a spot for years to launder your money from another country in. Let's drink some water before we try this out. That's why even when there is a real estate crash, it's not something that particularly excites me, because it's all going to get, if there's even a minor dip in prices, it's just going to be bought up by people who are looking to wash dirty cash, not people who live here. Okay, so we got 23 milliamps, and we did not solve our problem, did we? We did not solve our problem one bit. Is our SSD shorting PP3v3SO to ground, perhaps? Maybe, maybe not. That would be interesting if it was. Let's see, one way to find out, right? Oh no! Refurbished board! Why didn't I notice this sooner? It says FRU on it. It has Apple and that little sticker. This is going to be a refurb, isn't it? You're an Apple refurb board, aren't you? Yeah. That's what Erica would do. She would make that little noise. Rah, rah, rah. She makes these very strange noises of like a cartoon creature or something. Alright, knowing this is an Apple refurb board means knowing that anything can be screwed up on it. So oh, what is the first thing that you see there? Really? You left corrosion, minor sign of corrosion on the SMC reset resistor. So that's not going to be it. Because we... Alright, let's look for hints. Tell me if you see anything. What do you see? Okay, you see a reworking of the Thunderbolt area. That's flux on the board. Do you even ultrasonic, Apple? Do you even ultrasonic, Apple? The gloves I'm currently rocking are yellow. I hate the latex gloves. Yeah, latex is the worst. Followed by vinyl, then you get nitrile, which are much better. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm going to guess if there was rework here that they did something with a Thunderbolt circuit. So I'm going to take a look at Thunderbolt power rails later. Wait a second, what is this shit? I can't even tell if that's pubes or damage. Like, what is this? Okay, so that's just really nasty pubes. But it looks bad, doesn't it? Hiss. Whoa! Oh-ho! Here you go! Bada bing! So you had corrosion around the... Looks like that hair by the clock chip was it. So this MacBook was a refurbished MacBook. It looks like it was one of the Apple refurbished ones. And it looks like they missed the fact that there was a corrosion by the SMC reset resistor. Minor nastiness by U1950. They left the flux on the board. They left the effing... Like, I don't want to hear any of this. I use too much flux shit. You know what? I may use 30 cc's of flux for every board repair, but you know what I do after I'm done with it? It goes in an ultrasonic cleaner for about 2 to 4 minutes, washes everything off at 60 Celsius with Branson EC. Then it goes into a vat of alcohol. Then it gets dried off by air. Then it gets put in an oven for about 230 Fahrenheit for half an hour to an hour. And then we reassemble it. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something.